Incumbent Emmanuel Macron prevailed more clearly than expected against right-wing populist Marine Le Pen, and the EU breathes a sigh of relief. So, incumbent Emmanuel Macron has been re-elected as French president. Accordingly, Macron prevailed with 58.55% of the votes against right-wing populist Marine Le Pen. She only got 41.45%. In his first speech after winning the election, the president promised the voters of his right-wing populist challenger Marine Le Pen to be considerate. There must be answers to their anger and dissenting opinions, said Macron at the foot of the Eiffel Tower in Paris. I am the president of all, he said. We also have to be benevolent and respectful, because our country is deep in doubt and division. We must be strong, but no one is left by the wayside. Marine Le Pen appeared in front of her supporters immediately after the figures were published and admitted defeat. At least she's not very Trumpian there. The result is still a victory for her political movement, said Le Pen. She now wants to turn her attention to the French general elections in June. The game isn't over yet, Le Pen tells her supporters, and she adds, the great battle for the parliamentary elections begins tonight. Her Rassemblement National party is open to anyone who wants to unite against Emmanuel Macron. The runoff election was a repeat of the 2017 election decision, in which around 2/3 of the voters had put their cross for Macron. The renewed triumph over the right-wing Eurosceptic is regarded as pointing the way for the further course of France, which currently holds the rotating presidency of the EU. The head of state advocates closer cooperation at EU level, while Le Pen wants to transform the European Union into a Europe of nations, as she puts it. For many moderate French and Europeans, the victory of the pro-European politician is a relief. Yeah, for me too. EU Council President Charles Michel congratulated French President Emmanuel Macron on his election victory. In these turbulent times, we need a strong Europe and a France fully committed to a more sovereign and strategic European Union, Michel tweeted. We can count on France for 5 more years. And European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen and European Parliament President Roberta Metsola also congratulated Macron on Twitter. Von der Leyen stressed that she was looking forward to continuing the excellent cooperation with Macron. Together we will move France and Europe forward, she stressed. The Ukrainian ambassador in Paris congratulated French President Emmanuel Macron also on his re-election. Vadim Omelchenko wrote on Twitter on Sunday evening that he was convinced that this victory will continue to strengthen the support of Ukraine, which is counting on its friends and partners. He also called Macron's victory a victory of the French people who speak the same language of resistance and freedom. And German Chancellor Olaf Scholz joined the well-wishers. Your voters also sent a strong commitment to Europe today. That's what Scholz said on Twitter. I am pleased that we will continue our good cooperation. Macron called the Chancellor that evening, and he was the one he called first. So, I am pleased that the majority of French voters support your pro-European course. That's what the federal president, Frank-Walter Steinmeier, wrote on Sunday evening, according to the office of the federal president. Your re-election is also good news for us Germans. Certainly, I'm not the only one who takes a load off my mind, wrote the German Federal Minister of Agriculture, Cem Özdemir, on the online network. Like his party leader Ricardo Lang before him, he also declared, now we in the EU must do everything we can to ensure that enemies of democracy and friends of Putin's political power never get that close again. And our finance minister Christian Lindner from the Liberals also congratulated Macron on Twitter. This election was a choice of direction. It was about fundamental questions of values. The French voted for Macron. This makes a united Europe the biggest winner of this election. Congratulations also come from the Christian Democrats here in Germany. Congratulations to Emmanuel Macron, tweeted party leader Friedrich Merz. Europe also won today. Now a new attempt at Franco-German cooperation is possible and necessary, he wrote. And British Prime Minister Boris Johnson also congratulated Macron on his re-election, emphasizing the close ties to the former EU partner. France is one of our closest and most important allies, Johnson wrote in French on Twitter on Sunday evening. I am happy to continue working together on key issues for both our countries and for the world, Johnson said. And Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky described Macron as a true friend in his congratulations. He appreciates the support of France, wrote Zelensky on Twitter on Monday night, and I'm convinced that we'll walk together towards new common victories, into a strong and united Europe. And the extreme right-wing French presidential candidate Éric Zemmour, who was eliminated in the first ballot, has called for a national alliance of right-wing parties. In the upcoming parliamentary elections in June, Zemmour demanded that his Reconquête movement, Marine Le Pen's Rassemblement National, and the right-wing camp of the conservative Républicains work together. At the same time, he attacked the right-wing nationalist Marine Le Pen, who was defeated in the presidential election. This is the 8th defeat of a Le Pen, said Zemmour, referring to the failed candidacies of Marine Le Pen and her father Jean-Marie Le Pen. The president of the Rassemblement National, Jordan Bardella, immediately gave Zemmour's call for right-wing parties to join forces a cancellation. There is no alliance with Reconquête, he said. And I can understand that one at least. And I'll see you in my next video. Bis gleich.